This is Mr. Alvidres. Welcome back, and we're going to be continuing messing around with the Cactus project. Here's the second part of the Cactus project. Now, what we're going to do first is look at our thumbnails that we created from the beginning of the project. And what I want you guys to do is pick out a couple of your favorites, but we're going to just focus on one today. So today, what I'm going to do, though, is going to pick two because I'm going to show you guys how to use just pencil to do some shadows and shading, and then I'm going to do another one in color, okay? Now, I want to do this little guy right here, all using just pencil and shading. I think this would be a simple little cactus so you guys can see how we do our shading on it. And maybe I'll add another of these tall ones just in case someone wants to go tall and you guys can see how I approach that. And then on my other ones, I wanted to do this one in color, okay? So those are going to be my two that I'm going to do. Okay guys, so we're going to get started. Now what I'm going to do is my thumbnail, I'm going to do this guy right here. So I'm going to place him to the side, so I could be studying and using this as a reference. Now remember, last time when we did this, when we first did the thumbnails, we started off creating the pot, and then we built the cactus inside of the pot. So depending on what you're going to be using to draw your bigger cactus, your paper, or if you ripped out a cardboard box or envelope, pay attention to how tall your paper is. And what I would do is kind of measure out how tall you're going to do your cactus, because you want to have it spaced the same on top as in the bottom. That way your cactus is centered. Okay, so I'm going to do a little mark right here. I want my cactus to go about right here. Let me get this extra paper out of the way so you're not confused. Okay, so here's my paper. Right here, a little light line, because that's where the top of the cactus is going to go. And see how far away I am? Same on the bottom. I want this bottom to be about there. So the bottom of my pot is going to be about this far away from the bottom, the edge of the paper. So do a little line there. That way our pot's centered. And then just pay attention. Look, where's the center at? Where's the center? About right there. I'm just taking a little guess. Okay, put a little dot. Now we're going to start with the pot again, working our way down. Now remember, the one is more round that I'm doing, and it had the little spider design. So first again, this time it's not so rectangle. So instead of doing this rectangle shape, I mean, if you want to help you out, what you can do is do little light lines and start off with like a rectangle, a long rectangle. And remember, I made it round, so use this as a guide, but then add these little curves. See that? Curve there, and a curve here, and then just connect that. And then you could just, with an eraser, erase those little lines. Now, bottom line, see that? We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a little line there just to show us where our edge is. And then I'm gonna do about the same thing, create a little rectangle in the bottom. And then I'm gonna round it out again, round, round, and then connect it with a hard line once we have those guides that we can follow. Remember, guides are just to help us create the lines that we need. So I do this little line so it lets me know how far away it is from here to here. That way I'm drawing it about the same with the top rectangle, round rectangle, okay? Now remember, we're not doing a rectangle shaped pot this time. We're doing a round one. That's how my spider went. So all I'm gonna do is curve it all the way down to meet the outside, boom. And then I'm gonna mirror it. I'm gonna try to do about the same. See how far away it is from the line that I created? So I could then put a little dot, help me out, and then use that guide, make it round, and then meet it there. You can meet it, draw it, and as you can see, this one came out a little far out. So if I need to, I'll just fix this. We'll go in a little tighter. And then with an eraser, you'll see this magically disappear right now, okay? Boom. Okay, now I got my pot. Let's not worry about all the spider design. We can then, let's get our cactus in there and then we'll start working on it. Now remember, my thumbnail had the two little cactuses, the one with the flowers on top and the one with the arm. It looks something like this one. Boom, remember? Okay, this is what we're redoing, but we're gonna do it much bigger. Look how bigger my pot is already. Okay, put that to the side and let's start working on those shapes. Let's work on the shape of the cactus in the front because it's much smaller. So I'm gonna go about probably right here with the little cactus. And then remember, softly go up. And then you're gonna do a little hill on top, curve it, and then come right back down, okay? Now we got ourselves a little cactus. And remember, I did a little arm, so I'm gonna do this little arm curving up right here before it gets to the top. Round it right here, go back down. This curve that's here, same thing. Remember, curve it back in. Now we got his arm. Now let's do the big guy in the back. Now remember, we made this line earlier, so that's how tall we want our cactus to go. So we're gonna go all the way to the bottom, start here. And I'm gonna go straight up. And look at that, I'm softly just sketching. And as I get to that line on top, we're gonna curve and we're gonna bring him down. And he's gonna get lost behind this little guy. This little guy's just a little bigger, so I don't have to keep drawing, okay? So there we go, we got our two cactuses, okay? Now this cactus had these two little flowers going on. So my flower, all I'm gonna do is almost like a small little cactus, just round it out. And then we're gonna do a second one over here, a little smaller. And we're seeing the outside of the flower, not the inside. So all we're gonna see is the petals, but from the bottom. And see, all you're gonna do is make these petals go around your little cactus. Now right here, this is in the way because the petals are going around on the back side of it, okay? So same on this one. Look at this, round petals. Just like how we've always drawn our little flowers before. Same thing, just go all the way around. And of course, we're not gonna see our flower right here because this little cactus is blocking the rest of that flower. Now what we're gonna do is just like we did before, is we're going to draw the little lines, okay? So it got these little lines. Remember, if this curve is curving here, you curve that little line, follow it all the way down. Boom, and right now it's really lightly. We're just doing it light. Now one down the middle, and then right here, this curve that goes on the right, we're going to follow and go down here. And of course, everything else is going to stop because the little cactus is going to be in the way. Now let's do the same thing with the little cactus. Here's his little curve. Bring it all the way down. Same on the other side, one down the middle, and then now let's do the same with the arm. Go up, and then let's go this way. Now to save some time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna darken all the lines, which you guys should do, okay? So just go over all your lines that you think are just right, okay? Now watch as this cactus gets darker right now. And there we go, got everything really dark. Made some little mistakes, but I'm okay with that because if it's a real cactus, sometimes the cactus is going to get damaged with the weather, falls, who knows, okay? So it's fine if you make little mistakes or not. Take your time, erase. Now what we're going to do is remember, down these little lines, we were going to add our little needles. They could go all the way around, okay? Now just make them go around like they're protecting each cactus, okay? Now I'm gonna pause it right now, or not while my camera I'm pausing it, but you'll see it magically all get filled with needles. Okay guys, so you can see I added all my needles. Now what we're gonna end up doing next is we're gonna end up working on the pot, but if you can notice my needles, they're not very perfect. They're not on the line. Some of them are a little inside the line. That's fine. Just do those needles following along these lines, these curves, okay? Now what we're going to do now is we're going to work on our pot. Now what I did was a spider web, which we've done before in my class, so you guys have had practice. Now what we want to do is something a bit symmetrical. Symmetrical means if I have, let's do this line in the middle. So let's find the middle, let's do our best possible, do a line going down the middle. Now symmetry, what we're talking about is whatever line I have on this side, let's imagine this is a mirror. So then if this is coming down in, then I have to do the same on the other sides, just like a mirror, reflection. This is when we talk about when something is symmetrical or has symmetry, okay? Now it's difficult, but take practice, you do your best. Now I'm gonna do another line. Remember, we're doing the spider web, so the more lines I got going like this, the better it's gonna look like a spider web. So let's do this curve like a mirror, so it goes about right there. And then meet it right there. See that? You just do your best. Now let's bring this line down here and this little part of the pot. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a little upside down triangle or meet there. it's about this far, so I measure about there and do the same thing, meet it right there. And then let's finish these guys, make them go all the way to the end. Okay, and now let's have some fun with doing some spider webs. Let's start from right here. Remember, curve it, boom, almost like a U, right? Everything's gonna be like a U, boom. Let's make this guy meet up to here, and then like a mirror, see? Try to do the same on the other side, boom. Now let's do another row, go inside, inside, see, all the way, little U's. Make this one come all the way down. See, it's a little off, but it's alright, guys. Doesn't have to be perfect, just try your best. Curve it, curve. And now we got myself a little spiderweb pop. It's not exactly how the little one came out, because doing bigger things is a little more difficult. You have more control and you see everything really small and tight, but it's fine. It's coming out just like I planned. Not perfect, but at least it's coming out similar to what I thumbnailed. Alright guys, so now the next step is going to be what's all about doing shading, the shadow. Now my idea is, let's imagine this cactus is on your table and you have a light coming from above, shining straight from above, okay? So what I would do is, let's imagine this is round, right? Let's imagine if it's a hill, like so, and the light is just hitting the top of the hill. Well, everything that's on the top part of the curve, that's what the light's gonna hit. So all I'm gonna do is just do a little line here, letting me know this is where my light is going. Same right here, curve here. So this part is where the light's hitting, just on top. Same right here. But now we have this arm that's curving. So you know this is gonna get hit by light right here, but as a curve is not gonna get. So this little area is gonna get light. Now if we look at these parts, anything that's, if the light's coming from above, anything that's further from the top is gonna get darker. As we get closer to the top of the area where it gets lighter, where the light is hitting, that's where it gets lighter. So lightest, and as it gets further away, you're gonna go darker and darker, okay? Now what I would start doing is just shade everything that you know the light is not hitting first. So let's shade everything where we didn't mark. See, I marked this, that's light, so nothing there. This is light, so don't. Light, light. Everything else, just do a soft shading. We just want to get that a little darker, okay? Little darker. And it's gonna take a while, guys. Don't be in such a hurry. Just go, like, see how I'm starting from here and working my way to side to side. Drop now here, work my way side to side, and just don't go too dark, don't push too hard, because remember, we're gonna have to make this go from lightest to darkest. Right now we just want to make it a little darker, just so we know this is all in the shadow, in the shade of the cactus. Okay, now watch as I magically make all this get shaded. Okay guys, as you can see, I try to shade everything about the same. Some parts a little darker, but I was trying to control myself from pushing too hard on my pencil. Left this alone. See the lights hitting on top, light hitting here, lights hitting here, and lights in here inside the arm, okay? Now, remember, everything further away from where the light's coming, it's gonna get darker. So let me show you in this arm. We're gonna start from the bottom where we know it's darkest, and you're gonna press hard, follow the curve of your arm like this, and see what I'm doing is circular motions, really small circle motions right here. And we're just filling this in with darks, much darker. And then what you can do is just kind of follow this line softly. Now, see how it's darker here? And then right here it's the medium kind of tones, and then we got our light. Now what you could practice doing is softly blend these two together. So this is darkest, you press harder, and as you go higher and higher, you go softer and softer. You let go of the pencil, don't go so dark. And see, and just gently do this, okay? And it takes practice, guys. I don't expect you guys to get this right off the bat. Just remember, farthest from where the light's hitting is going to be your darkest, which is down here right now, because right now we're saying the light is coming from on top. And see how I just gently just go softer and softer as I get closer to that light. And as I get further away, I press harder on the pencil. Now you can see some difference right there. See, darker, and as it gets closer to the light, it gets lighter. So now let's see this right here, okay? You'll probably see a bigger difference here. So what I would do is you can either start from on top, go light, and press darker as you go down, or start really dark on the bottom. Now we don't want to go black because we still want to see all our needles, but just press hard enough where it gets a nice darkness. And see, I'm still doing the circular motion. And then right here, there's still too much white. So what I'm going to do is follow the line like this and go up. And there we go, see? Now let's continue. And as we go higher and higher, closer to where the light's hitting, we're not going to press as hard on our pencil. Now this takes a lot of practice. So remember, don't press so hard. Just softly, softly give these circle motions as we go up and up closer to the light. And have patience, guys, okay? This to clean things up. Some of you guys have seen how I've done my shadows on some of my drawings. Sometimes it takes me a few days. I come back and I add more and I fix some of my blends, because sometimes what I'll do is you'll press too hard like this, and then you'll go too light, and then you'll press hard. So then sometimes you have to fix these things. You gotta come in the next day and then really work those blends together. Just go a little softer, softer, and see, it takes a while, okay? See how it's starting to get darker to lighter, but it's not such a clean transition. So I gotta come back in here and just keep adding a little more and more, okay? Now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna soft, and then as I get closer to the bottom, I press harder and harder on the pencil, okay? Okay guys, I got this pretty much wrapped up. I can still come in here and clean my blends a little better, but we need to move on. So see this white, how I left it? It's just such a hard contrast. It should be softer. It should go from this light until it gets to white. So what I can do is, see these curves? I gotta follow these curves when I do the blend. So what I'll start doing is I'll just either go softer and then just start kind of moving up on that curve. And what I can do is I can even erase this line so it's not such a hard line so we don't see it, but I'm okay with leaving it now so you guys can see. But if you want to get a smoother blend, you gotta get rid of that line before you start blending this up. But we're gonna leave that so you guys can keep seeing that line. But as you can see, I'm just softly, just barely giving it any pressure, my pencil, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is right here on the outside, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of some darkness on the outside right there, just so it gives it a little depth around that, give me that nice curve. See that? Now I could come in here and start gently trying to get rid of that line that we created for our light source, and then just keep blending this in until we get rid of it. So it just depends how much patience you guys have. You guys could keep working it, okay? Now, we're gonna approach the tall one just the same way. Go darker all the way up, okay? Okay guys, so I'm starting to blend it and making it darker down here. Remember, more pressure, the darker. Pressure means you're pressing harder on the pencil. The lighter you do it, the lighter it's gonna come out. So remember, go heavier down here, and then as you go up, let go and let go, make it get lighter and lighter till you get close to this line. Remember, if we want to get rid of that line, start racing gently. You could just leave enough so you know where to go to. Get rid of this here, my marks. And then let's continue working our way up. And remember, this curve, work your way up that curve softly. Let me work this side. And then we just want to make it dark on the outside. You can go a little darker on just on the outside, just to give it a little depth on the curves, because you can get some shadows right here on the outside. And then to give some separation from the front cactus and the back cactus, what I would do is just make it a little darker, and this creating a shadow from the little cactus that's right against the big cactus. So Let's put the shadow right on the big cactus. It's gonna go, you go really dark on that, and as you get closer to the top, go softer, because there's gonna be light hitting that area. And see, you want to outline this again so you can see that where the little cactus starts and ends. And then what you want to do is, once you get all your shading done how you like it, start outlining all your needles. Okay, now the flower, I'm gonna do the same thing. Light's coming from on top. Now I got these petals in the way, so I'm gonna pretend the petals are getting no light. This is the bottom of the petal, so they're gonna be all shadow. Okay, now this is going to get hit with a little bit, maybe right here. So I do a little circle, and then same with this one. Maybe it gets hit just right there. It's up to me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just put shade here, put shade there, and remember, same rule, further away from the light, darker, and as we get closer, softer, lighter. Okay, same on here. But now we have another little thing. We got a little bit of shadow getting created on this cactus from the flower. So I'm going to go right here just a little darker, because that's where the shadow is going to be hitting right here most. And then same right here, just on the edge, give it a little bit of a shadow from the flower, and then right here in the bottom, furthest from the light. Okay, and then you can soften it up. Soft, when I mean soft is mean less pressure. Okay, just like how we get closer to the light and we get lighter, same with the shadow. The closer the shadow is to the object, the darker it's going to be, and as it gets further away, you go softer, softer. Okay, and it's going to take a while, guys. It's just practice and observing things. Okay, I'm going to make you guys draw some other objects. Like I got some fruit that I want you guys to observe. I'll show you guys a demo on that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just this little thing of the pot. I know it's kind of sticking out in my head, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shadow right here, and as it gets further, this is round, so what I'm imagining is if it's round, it's going to be darker on the bottom because it's curved. So all I'm going to do is start kind of curving the shadow, just kind of following this line and this line. When I'm on this side, I'm curving out that way, and as I get to the center, kind of go straight up, and now I'm curving out this way. And then the rules apply the same, just like the cactus. Further away from the light, darker down here. As I go up, lighter. This is really dark because this is going to be sticking out a little bit. That's what I imagine it. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just darken everything with magic and then just study. I'm going to put this up so you can see. If you have any questions, just ask me, okay? Now I'm going to post another video showing you some techniques to do color. Now what I'm doing now is I'm darkening out my shadows, and as I get lower, remember, it's going to get darker. I imagine this like a ball. It's curving. So down here, it's going to get more shadow. So this time I'm not extending it all the way. I'm keeping this dark area still going up. Then right here still following the curve, but just making it darker. And just like the rule of the cactus, remember, as we get higher, we go softer up, but I'm going to still follow that curve on this side. And then I'm going to go straight up here, just going up. And as we get this way, we're going to curve out to the left, okay? Just have patience, guys, okay? And slowly, slowly build your shadows. And you'll see. Study this example, and I put it up on Instagram. Okay, guys, as you can see, I went really dark right here on the bottom of it because that's what's creating a shadow from this. Now, the light's coming from on top, so all you're going to see is a little bit of light hitting on the very top. So what I'm doing is I'm just shading all the way and just leaving this little white rectangle so we know that's the light source, and that's why it's creating this hard shadow right here. Now this shadow, remember, it's curved right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just some soft lines kind of following the curve, just like how we did down here going up. This time we're going to go down and just really soft, okay? See, and just take your time. And then usually what I do is on the outside of almost everything, I make it a little darker, like right here, just so it stands out a little more. Give it some contrast, okay? And take your time. Work all the way around. Get your shadows right. Remember, on this, the light's always coming from on top, so it's always going to create a shadow down here. So as you can see here, this is big and round, so it's going to actually cover everything. I'm not going to get really light hitting there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at how wide my cactus is, so that's how much shadow it's going to create. So it's barely even sticking out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a little oval down here, just a little bigger than the pot, not too much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shade it in. This is the shadow that's being created down on the floor. And just fill it in. And then same rule. Okay, just like how we're talking about shadows, anything closer to the pot, you press really hard. And as we get further away, soft, soft. Okay, closer, press harder. Okay, further away, softer, and slowly work it until you get it how you like it. Okay, now watch the way I'm gonna leave it right now. I'm gonna take my time with it. So right now, see, I'm just slowly going back, and as I get lower and lower, I go softer, lighter, and as I get up, I press a little harder. I want it darker right there. And then just kind of curve it, fix the shadow on the outside. And you just keep working it, blending it, do the little rotations right here just to get that nice transition where it goes from dark to a medium, and then on the outside go lighter. And this is going to just take you a while. It just takes you some practice, go back and forth. So we pretty much got like how we want our cactus. Now all I'm going to do is clean up some more of my shadows, softly do my blends a little bit, and then last part, go over all my lines. Okay, so that way they're really dark and I can see all these beautiful curves on my cactus. Okay guys, stay tuned for the final. Now guys, one little thing that I forgot to do is, like, the cactus are going straight, right? So what's going to do, it is going to create somewhat of a shadow down here. What you can do is, so you don't ruin all this beautiful work you got going on, is see the outside of the cactus, follow it all the way down till we get to that shadow, and then just give a soft little shadow that I cast. That way we know this right here is being casted by the cactuses, okay? Light is not hitting there due to the cactus right here. See? It just gives it a little extra. Okay guys, so all I did is pretty much outline everything darker, blended it a little bit better. As you can see, I made some mistakes. I made things a little too thick. I made an extra line there, but it happens, okay? It's part of art. You're gonna make some hiccups. If I ever wanted to make this even better, I could just redraw it all over again. Okay guys, so what I'll probably do is just take another look, clean this a little, probably a little more, and then I'll scan it and post it up on Instagram. Okay, well, I hope you guys learn. If you have any questions, just make sure to hit me on Instagram. Okay, remember, last thing you always do, guys, put your signature. All right, man, I hope everyone's doing great. I hope you guys are doing okay in your quarantine. Please have patience with your family and have patience with this project, guys. Okay, don't have to do it in such a hurry. I would even take more time on this. I'm probably gonna come back. You'll probably see it looking a little different when I finally scan it. All right, everyone have a great day. Okay, much love for all of you. Miss you guys. Mr. Alvidris out.